Good morning, you guys. It is Fire Up Friday. My name is Alex Branning. I am your marketing coach, and I'm so excited to be here today. We are doing something fun and cool. Well, at least I hope so. I am also recording this and going live in the Sales Tips for Smart People Facebook group. So if you're watching this right, or if you're on right now, you can actually see me in the Sales Tips for Smart People Facebook group. I have a couple little notes there, and then I have the Sales Tips for Smart People logo. I'm just having fun with it. So if we get good responses, awesome. If it bombs, no worries, right? We tried something fun and new. For those of you who have not met me yet, this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you're wondering who the heck is this Alex guy. My name is Alex. I live in Redding, California. I've worked with Eric for 4.5 years. I am an expert in online marketing. And I built Eric's website and app last year. He has since done some great work on. He's got a great individual helping him make some updates. And Eric has been my business coach for a long time. He really helped me turn everything around. Today, I am talking about a couple things. I'm going to start by talking about persistence. Persistence. Persistence is so important, not just in business as a whole, but also in your marketing. You know, one of the things that really elevates entrepreneurs over the other entrepreneurs that are also their competitors is persistence, not only in the face of adversity, but also when you realize success. In other words, what I mean by that is when you hit a roadblock, the persistent entrepreneur will keep going and overcome. When you hit success, when you meet your goal, the successful, overachieving entrepreneur will just set a new goal and keep going, keep pushing, keep grinding, keep growing. That's what makes the difference between an entrepreneur who will just survive compared to an entrepreneur who will thrive. So if you're listening to this going, okay, great, I would love some persistence, but I can't just conjure that up. How do I do it? I have 6 tips for you today on how to become more persistent, how to really flex those persistence muscles. The first is to develop an all-consuming vision for your, not just your business, but also your life. And I got this idea from Eric Lofholm on one of our very first calls that we did about 4.5 years ago. He introduced the success concept of an ideal life. And we were talking about what my day looked like at the time and how stressed out I was and how much I was working. And he had me do an exercise where I wrote out what my ideal day would look like if I was living my life the way that I wanted to. And on that sheet of paper, I wrote down that I would wake up early in the morning because I'm a morning person. So even if I'm retired, I'm still going to be waking up really early in the morning. And I would wake up early, enjoy my coffee, do my devotionals, spend some time with my family. I would love to take my daughter to school for as long as she's at that age, and then hang out with my wife for a little bit. And then in the morning, because that's when I'm at my peak, that's when I am in my zone of genius, then I would do the creative things, the things that I really love, the things that bring me fulfillment. And then in the afternoon, when I'm not quite as sharp, I'm, at 90%. We all have our different times of the day where we're at our top, right? That's when I would do my sales meetings and my coaching calls and things like that that don't require me to flex a lot of muscle. It requires me to just operate in what I'm already fully capable of. And so at the time, I was working from the time that I woke up until the time that I went to bed. It was a nonstop grind. But in my ideal day, I started around 9, and then I was able to wrap everything up at 5 and join my family for dinner and evening activities. Well, guess what? 4 years later, after a lot of persistence, hard work, and mistakes, I am living that ideal day, and I've been able to create my ideal life. But I wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for persistence, because there were times when I hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, but I kept going. There were times when I would hit my goal, and I would say, okay, can I just stay here? Or should I continue on? Should I push it to the next level? Should I create a new goal? And I created bigger and better goals for myself, and I just continue to push myself and my team. I have a great team at the Branding Group to continue on to the next thing. So if you're wondering, what is my vision? How can I create that? What does that look like? I want to invite you to join Eric at his mid-year planning class so that he can help you set your sales and marketing goals for the rest of the year. So let's go to step number 2 for your growing your persistence muscles. It's about that burning desire, really finding what is that one thing that you want right now and putting it right in front of you. There's the all-consuming vision, which is the overarching goals that we have, but then there's that carrot that's dangling right in front of us. And that really helps us to move fast and with urgency. A vision is something that is like a long-term plan, but when we have that carrot dangling in front of us, there's urgency. We go for it. The third thing is to work on your inner confidence, right? This is what Eric refers to in his book, The System, as the inner game. It's about speaking good things to yourself. It's about telling yourself you can do it. You've got this. It might sound silly, right? When I first started doing my morning declarations, I honestly felt kind of foolish because I was just sitting in my living room, sipping my coffee, saying things like, I am loved, I am creative, I make money easily. You know? But it really helps. It helps to say things that enforce the positive things that I know about myself, because negative things are going to happen throughout the day. So when I start with those positive declarations, with that positive mindset, it carries me on throughout the day. And over time, it grows my inner confidence. Number 4, it's about highly developed habits. When you have good habits, it's easier to stay persistent. Persistence and success, you know, when we want to achieve different goals, willpower alone is not going to do it. Writing down our goals is not going to do it. We need to create an environment around us where success and achieving what we're after is almost our only option. I'll give you an example of what that looks like. If you're like me, I'm really trying to eat healthy and just live my best life in all areas, physically, spiritually, etc. Well, I'm trying to be good about what I eat. Now, I could have the willpower to say I don't want to eat cookies. I could write down on a whiteboard, don't eat cookies. But if in my environment, I allow those cookies to just sit on my counter, the odds of me failing go up quite a bit. However, if we don't allow cookies in our house because we're trying to not partake, I have to really work hard to not eat those cookies. In the same way, it's about figuring out what is that one thing I need to change. I was working with one of my coaching clients, and we were working on figuring out a new structure for her so that she could achieve everything that she knows she's capable of. And her biggest setback was her own habits. And it was about figuring out how can she basically break off these chains that are holding her back with her bad habits. So it's all about putting yourself in an environment where you have really no chance but to succeed. The 5th point that will help you strengthen your persistence is the ability to adjust and adapt, because things happen, right? The way that we envision our life going or our day going or this marketing campaign going, it may not actually look like that in the reality. So we have to adjust our own expectations and our own plan of actions so that we stay on the ball. We don't quit. My 6th and final point is to find a role model that you can follow that will mentor you and guide you on the path. This is why I believe so strongly in working with Eric and his team, because we can do only what we are capable of. We know only what we have learned from our own experiences and what we've read. But there are things that are going to happen that we have not yet been able to, that we have not experienced, and so we don't know how to react or adapt. That's why we need Eric and whoever the coaches that you're working with on Eric's team to help you see the broader picture so that you know what are the next steps to take. Having that role model helps you, right? It's kind of like when you go into a corn maze, right? And I'm going way back to our childhood now. When you go into a corn maze and you're like, man, I am lost. I don't know how the heck to get out of here. And there's somebody there that's already been through it. He's like, oh, let me show you. Come on, follow me. That's the power of working with a great business coach, is even though you're lost, you have someone by your side who can see things from a different angle or has been there before and can help you get unstuck. Now let's talk about persistence in marketing, because I'm a marketing guy. I run great marketing campaigns for clients from all different industries. I want to share a story of persistence. One of my clients is, he's a real estate coach. He helps real estate investors find and flip houses. I was introduced to him from one of my current clients as a referral. And on the phone with him, he had a lot of hesitancy about Facebook ads. His hesitancy was, I just don't know if they're going to work. And I told him, I said, I believe that every dollar you spend, I will be able to 10x the return on your investment. And so he committed to a marketing budget, and then he had his event last weekend. Now, we committed to this marketing budget way back at the end of May. And actually, I'm sorry, it was the beginning of May, so it's about 6 weeks ago. We executed the plan, created the marketing material, ran the ads, set the budget. We made some changes on the fly as we saw how things were working or not working with the marketing. And at his weekend event, he did $57,000 in sales. I made a believer out of him when it comes to Facebook ads and the marketing that we were doing. There was a couple different times in there where he wasn't sure if we should pull the plug or not, because he was seeing all the numbers climb, but he was also looking at this and going, oh my gosh, I'm also seeing the money that's going into the marketing, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. And as his marketing coach, the guy executing his campaign, I was able to tell him, this is exactly what we expected. We're getting everything that we want. And he had a huge weekend. So in your marketing campaigns, I highly recommend giving that campaign at least 30 days before you determine whether or not it's a loser. Now, there are some things to look for. If you're not getting any responses, then we need to make some adjustments. Now, I have some bonuses for you. Go to alexbranding.com/fire and grab these really cool bonuses. I just launched a campaign for myself. I have my own podcast, the Alex Branding Podcast, and I've been doing it for 6 months. The last episode that I released was my 6-month anniversary, and I'm so excited. And I am giving away a $200 Best Buy gift card. And I just did a live video training earlier this week where I let people look over my shoulder as I created the ad graphics, wrote down the ad copy, identified how I found my target client, picked my budget, my audience. I shared my funnel so people could see how I walk people down the funnel, the experience that they get when they enter in. And I showed them my follow-up sequence where I encourage everybody that opted in for the free gift card to also set an appointment with me so I could help them with their marketing. And I want to give everything to you, the entire website that I used, the action funnel, the follow-up sequence, the graphics, the ad text, the whole thing. And you can watch me set it up. I'll send it all to you. If you go to alexbranding.com/fire, you can get all of those great bonuses. If you're listening right now on the recording, please, please, please review the Sales Tips for Smart People podcast and make sure that you come back on Monday where Sue is going to dive in. And then again on Tuesday where Kevin Connect is going to help us out. I love Kevin. I had a great conversation. What a nice, genuine dude. Then on Wednesday, it's Whatever It Takes Wednesday with Kevin Perkins. And on Thursday, Eric Lawful is in the house bringing it. And if you missed Eric's podcast yesterday where he talked about campaigns, listen to that. That is gold. So my name is Alex Branding. Today is Fire Up Friday, and I am so excited.